Hello there. My name is Shahira Wooten. I am the founder and fee only financial planner for Your Story Financial, and I'm so glad that you have joined us once again for the Money Decisions Show. Today's episode will be an interview that I had, and it was a few months ago, but we discussed so many really neat topics. We talk about my journey for becoming a financial planner, going from being an electrical engineer to a financial planner. I'll be celebrating 15 years at the end of the month of August 2019. We'll also discuss what you need to be aware of when you are looking to start a business, the options that you have. We even get into starting retirement plans. It was really interesting. I had no idea where the interview was going to go in terms of the topic of discussion, but it really became a very interesting interview. And then at the end, I talk about how you can become a registered investment advisor like myself. I don't go through all the details, but with the questions that were asked, I was able to give a high level overview of my journey and how this whole process came about. So it was a really neat interview, and I hope that you enjoy it and get something out of it. Please remember to share it, and at the end, make some comments. Tell us about your journey. We all have one. And of course, with my company being Your Story Financial, we all obviously have a story to tell. So this is a part of my story, and I hope that you enjoy. Thank you. Thanks so much, first of all, Carly, for having me on here. I really appreciate that. I don't take that lightly, so that you would invite me to be a part of this. So what I do is my name is Shahira Wooten, and I own Your Story Financial, which is a virtual fee-only fiduciary financial planning firm. So now say that 25 times fast. So it's a tongue twister, but basically it just means that I work with people through technology, kind of like what we're doing now. I use technology and I help them with their financial affairs. So we cover retirement planning, education, cash flow management. We talk about net worth. We talk about risk management, and just really looking at that, and just really what is the vision and the story that you want to create for your financial life. And I work with STEM professionals as well as women professionals. And the reason why I picked those is, for one, I'm a woman, and then I also am an electrical and computer engineer by training. So I went to Ohio State, and got my bachelor's some time ago, and then just decided to change careers because of just my passion for helping people with financial literacy. So that's a big deal for me, just really letting people know how to save and how to move forward with their financial story. So it just really tied in well. So thanks again for having me.
No problem. So you say you you studied as an electrical engineer?
Yes, electrical and computer engineer so my degree was from Ohio State, and at the time they allowed us. I started off just wanting to be an electrical engineer, and then with the curriculum and everything that we learned, they told us that, you know what, you can go ahead and add computer to your degree. So that's how it became an electrical and computer engineering degree. I felt it would be more marketable. So about 2004 is when I changed careers. So I've been, in August, it'll be 15 years that I've been in financial
that's quite
services.
some time.
Yeah, so it's
So
been some
are
time.
you still do that?
Do engineering?
Yes.
I don't do any engineering. I just work with people. I am a member of NSBE, here in Central Florida. But no, I seem to hang around engineers, it seems. But other than that, I don't do that as my everyday work.
Okay, now I say you say you used to do that for 15 years and you start. And give me an exception. What make you want to switch career from electronic engineering to financial analyst or something like that?
Yeah, so I just really while I was getting my engineering degree, I kind of knew that it wouldn't be something that I would be doing the rest of my life. But I knew it was a fantastic degree to have. It's a great place to start for me. I had a good internship, and and just really, had a good setup. I was good at math, good at science. Enjoyed
Mm.
math more than science, but there came a point where I just wanted to figure out, what do I want to be when I grow up? And I took some time to do that. And with some prayer and reading books and asking God, what do I want to be? The financial services side came up. So I read Purpose Driven Life and What Color is Your Parachute? I think those are excellent books if you're trying to figure out who you are, what you want to be. And it really came out financial services. And it's been a journey ever since, and I've learned so much about it. And and I'm willing to talk with people if they're looking to change careers offline. But yeah, it just was one of those things where it was just, what is your purpose? What is your passion? And that is how I got into financial services.
So now you're in a, you say you have startups. So tell some of the viewers. I know right now we got just two, and other people who's gonna see the video later. What do they need to prepare themselves when as in a financial aspect when they try to start a tech businesses?
Wow, yeah, that's a good question. So, yeah, so when you're trying to start a business, and I'm just going to keep it general with a business in general, because I think some of these are going to cross over to whether you're in a tech business or just a regular business. But one of the things I definitely recommend is to have your emergency fund. Really have some cash and have enough cash waiting so that you can pay your bills. So if you are working full time, it might be a good idea to continue working full time until your business is sustaining itself enough to cover your expenses. Some of the other things you can do is start to build up your health savings account. That's a great way to be able to utilize, just build assets, and really build up your assets. And if you get sick while you're working your startup business, you'll be able to pull from that if you have like a high deductible health insurance plan. So you want to do that. You also want to look at just businesses in general. Create a business plan. Get your LLC or your C corp or your S corp. Get all that in line. All your ducks in a row. The biggest thing that people would work with me on is really making sure that you have the income to sustain yourself should you leave your corporate job or your full-time job. And we would do an analysis of that and try to figure out when you could make that exit if that's what you want to do, or you might be trying to just continue to work both jobs. The other thing that you want to consider, like when I said the health savings account, is do you have health insurance? Do you have disability insurance? Do you have life insurance? So all of these things are protections should you pass, should you become injured. You want to look at that. One of the things, since I have been in my own business for about 3 years now, one of the things that I did was I looked into an organization that I belong to. So trade organizations, a lot of those can give you access to like group insurance, so you can get long-term disability through them. You could even look at life insurance. So while you're working at your company, if you're planning on leaving, look at getting a policy outside of your company. If the company that you're working for gives you insurance, but they don't allow you to take it with you should you leave the company. So those are some of the things. There's a lot of things, but those are some of the things I would think about, is how you're going to protect yourself, how you're going to replace your income. So everybody's going to be different in terms of what they want to do. Some people want to just continue to work full time, and they're okay with that, and they're just going to do this business on the side. If you're planning to leave and you have some enough income to cover your living expenses, now maybe you can do a side hustle to get a little bit more. But yeah, those are some things that I would consider if you are planning to leave your company and start your own business.
Okay, now I understand you explain about all that they need, the preparation they need to do to start, and what they need to get themselves into. So when they start a business, how about when they already have all that, but the business need more fund, what do they need to have together? So say the business been running for 6 months to a year, but they need more capital. What do they need to have in line, so when they approach another, say like a bank or like a financial advisor like you, to able to get more fund for their business?
Yes. So then now I would take you and send you to either SCORE, or we would talk to getting you in touch with people who, like, you can contact angel investors. You can talk to, get yourself out there for venture capital. You can learn how to do pitches.
Do you
You
help out with that? Do you help out with them
I
to better
don't
prepare
help
with it?
out with that, but if I have a client that's looking for resources, I can definitely, find some resources for them. More so, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be helping people make sure that if we have a retirement plan in place, or if we have a plan to buy a house, or we have a plan to get a car, or take a vacation, or get your kids' education, that just by doing the startup business, you're not going to deter or defray or slow down your goals of retirement. So there's a lot of resources out there. There's incubators, there's all kinds of things out there that I can assist them in finding, but I don't charge for doing that. Like, it's part of the relationship. If somebody hires me as their financial planner and they say, wow, you know what, now I want to do a startup, then I'm going to get them in line to, with some resources. And there's stuff in town, like even when I was in Arizona, because I used to live in Phoenix, Arizona State University had all these tools. There was different groups that you can get access to. But in terms of actually getting people in front of, angel investors, or the loan, SBA or anything like that, that is something more of a resource that I can just say, hey, you might want to talk to this bank, you might want to do this, you might want to do that. But in terms of creating the package to make sure they look okay and are able to get the loan, that's something that we would send them to a business advisor on.
Awesome, great. Now tell them that after somebody, I understand you mostly help a lot of people to prepare themselves for, like, when they're retired, right? How to structure their finances so they don't get everything mashed up together with business finances and the personal finance together, so that they can be prepared when they're retired and their kids and stuff like that. Well, there's somebody who's running any business or tech business have to be more knowledgeable about when it comes to finances aspect.
Well, you know what? Definitely, like you mentioned, you want to make sure your finances are separated. You want to have a business bank account. You also want to look at getting errors and emissions. If you're like in a professional type job or type business, you want to get business insurance. The other things that I could think of when you mentioned that in terms of these startup tech companies was, as you're growing, you can start to look at different retirement plans. Like, say, you can do your own
Like, you mean
qualified.
like if in a beginning stage?
In the beginning stage, it just really depends on how much revenue they're generating. So that's all going to depend on their revenue. But if their revenue is good enough, we might be looking at getting them a retirement plan. We might be looking at, getting them a SEP IRA, or a simple IRA if they have employees. Or we might even look at getting them a solo 401k, or an owner 401k if they're just like their own person. So those are things that we would look at, to help them to start to put away a little bit more and begin to save for retirement as they're growing their business. Because I think a lot of business owners, they're definitely wanting to put money into their own business, but they also need to pay themselves too. So there's some strategies that they could look at.
So how about like somebody who like found a business, I get they start a business. How about the structure about make sure every finance is all right for, like, say, like every employee in order, like make sure so not just him but people who gonna financing their retirement income, or like their like a 401k and stuff like that. Do your business deal with all that as well, like helping them get the structure for the other people that they're paying, so probably their 401k, or so like everything is, for the finance for the business doesn't go bankrupt, or doesn't damage the business and stuff like that. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
I think I understand. Are you saying like how would we get them to be able to get like a retirement plan for their business? How to structure
Yeah, so
that?
like they can pay the employee like their 401k so that it doesn't mess up with the business finance and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah, so we would work with a team. So it would be me as the financial planner. We would also work with a potentially a third party administrator, maybe their payroll department, their HR person. So we would work as a team and we would figure out what do they want to do? What's the goal of the business owner? Is the business owner trying to retain employees? Are people leaving? Do they want to make sure that people don't leave their company? And maybe that would be the one thing to keep them there is if they, gave them a retirement plan and added money to it, made contributions on their behalf. We would look at all of that, answer all of those questions. What if they don't want to retain employees? They just really want to make sure they're putting away enough for them as the owner, but making sure they're meeting all the rules for their employees. There's so many things or reasons why business owners would do something. So we would just hone in and create a plan, including all their wants and needs and really fleshing that out, and then working with a team of people, of experts that would be able to help them get to that end result. So some people, it may not be a set, maybe it'll be a simple, maybe it'll be a 401k, maybe it'll be something where a defined benefit plan. And we're not going to get too deep into it, but there's just a lot of things or options that a business owner could have available to them. So yes, I can definitely help them with that, and then talking about what their needs are and really tailor it to that.
So what about other? Nice, that's great information. So what about your business? What about somebody who wanna get into that financial aspect of tech? What about if they don't wanna be in a like startup, but they wanna be in a be somebody like you who wanna help their financial business through tech or any business like that? How do they get into that?
So are you saying how would somebody do what I do and start a
Yes.
registered
How do they want to
investment
get into
advisory
the more
firm?
the tech financial business part versus like start up a business, but they want to get into a financial a STEM business to help other minorities?
Yes. So, what I have is called a registered investment advisory firm. So, if
Mm-hmm.
there's somebody who has a passion for helping people with their finances, they
Yes,
can
yes.
choose a target market. My target market, I chose STEM and women professionals. And I specifically chose a registered investment advisory firm because
So
you mentioned
let me,
minorities, you mentioned people of color, and I chose that because this business model allows me to work with people regardless of their age or their assets.
so
Um,
do your firm you work directly with for you, or do you work under a bigger company, uh, uh, or is that just straight your financial business?
Your Story Financial is a registered investment advisory that it's an LLC, and I work for the firm Your Story Financial. So
Oh,
I have
okay.
vendors that I connect with and all that good stuff, but it is actually my firm. So what I did once I learned that I could create my own firm, I had been in the business, I told you guys, since 2004. I had no idea that I could start my own firm. So
Nice.
in 2004, I didn't have any idea until 2016. So 12 years in the business, and I started my process in
How was the
2002.
process?
What's that?
How was the process, the journey? Did you
Well,
have
it's
little
been a
hurdles?
journey. It really has been a journey. I mean, I'll take you, I could take you back to 2002, but basically when I decided to start my business was in 2016. And how I learned about it was I had called a friend of mine who had left the firm that I was working at. And I said, "What are you doing? I heard you left, and what are you doing?" And this was in March of 2016. I remember the date, March 7th, 2016. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I left. obviously, and I am going to start my own firm, or I have started my own firm. And I said, what? I didn't even know you could do that. I thought you had to work under somebody. And she said, no, I became a registered investment advisor. And what I did was I found this organization called XY Planning Network. Look them up, XY Planning Network. There's other firms like Garrett Planning Network. And about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, this was not really available. Nobody really knew about this, but a registered investment advisory firm's been around since about the 1940s or so. So it's something that's been around, but I just wasn't aware of it. And they helped me, actually. I became a member, and they actually worked me through the process of helping me to work with the state and start my own registered investment advisory firm. And I learned so much, and the process was great. It was a big learning experience because you had to become licensed, and you had to make sure that you met all these requirements that the state provided. And at that time I was with the state of Arizona. Now I'm with the state of Florida, but I'm actually with both. And both of them, you know, have certain requirements, but it was a great process because I used somebody to help me. I paid a membership, again, XY Planning Network. I highly recommend checking them out. If somebody is interested in joining the industry, let me know, reach out to me. I can definitely share with you, but it's a wonderful option to be able to be fee only, and that was my biggest driver. I don't charge a commission, and being a registered. As you can see, that particular interview did get cut off, but I did want to at least finish up what I was trying to share at the very end about being a fee only registered investment advisor. And that was also that I am a fiduciary. So being a fiduciary, it requires that I put my client's best interest first. And with that being said, it really means that I am going to look at what the options are based on the client's goals, based on their situation, what they share with me, and I will determine what is going to be the best rather than focusing on a product or focusing on some type of thing that's going to pay a commission. And the clients get that full transparency with the recommendations. And I believe they do appreciate that. So I'm super happy to share the interview with you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below or email me. I will put my website link in the notes. And I also have a free online course, and I do have an investment management course. So please take advantage of these opportunities to learn and to grow your knowledge. Thank you so much. Again, this is Shahara Wooten with Your Story Financial, and I'm so excited to help you create financial success one chapter at a time. Have a wonderful day.